The capture. March 26, 1945. 6:12 hours. Western Germany. A shattered village on the edge of the Ruhr. Mud grips boots like wet cement. Smoke lies low, clinging to collapsed stone walls and broken timbers. Somewhere nearby, a machine gun coughs short, angry bursts, then goes quiet. A bell rings once in a ruined church tower, pushed by the wind, not a hand. An Allied soldier stumbles into the open street. He is alone. His helmet is gone. His rifle hangs useless, the sling torn, the bolt fouled with grit. His breath rasps in his chest, each inhale scraping like sandpaper. He hasn't slept. He hasn't eaten properly in days. The fight has dissolved into fragments. Shouts in different languages, sudden gunfire, boots running where no roads remain. Then the German voices close in. Sure. Confident. Close. He freezes. A Mauser barrel touches his ribs. Another appears at his back. Hands grab his webbing, yank him forward. Someone shouts an order. The word hand cuts through the smoke. Hands up. He obeys. The street fills with Feldgrau uniforms. Infantrymen from a battered but still dangerous German unit, holding ground more out of habit than hope. Their faces are drawn, eyes sunken, uniforms stained with weeks of retreat and rearguard fighting. These men are not fanatics. They are tired professionals. And they know when a fight is over. This one looks finished. They strip him quickly. Sidearm gone. Knife gone. Ammunition pouches emptied. A boot heel grinds his rifle into the mud and kicks it away. Someone laughs, a short, brittle sound. Another soldier checks his pockets, finds nothing of interest. The Allied soldier is pushed against a wall that used to belong to a bakery. Burned flour dust still coats the bricks. The smell lingers, oddly sweet beneath cordite and smoke. A German corporal steps closer, studying him. Young. Maybe 22. Clean-shaven. Fingers steady on the trigger. The corporal says something about prisoners. About marching orders. About how the war is almost done anyway. Around them, the street relaxes. Rifles lower just a fraction. Helmets tilt back. One man lights a cigarette, cupping the flame with practiced care. Another adjusts a sling and leans his weight onto one hip. This is the moment after danger passes. The most dangerous moment of all. The Allied soldier listens. He says nothing. Inside his head, everything slows. He registers distances. Angles. How close the men are standing. Who is paying attention, and who is not. He feels the wall at his back. Rough brick. Solid. He notes the rubble pile to his left, the drainage ditch to his right. He hears boots shifting. A laugh again. A cough. No one is watching his face, so he smiles. It is not defiance. It is not bravado. It is calculation. The smile is small, almost polite. A human reflex that disarms more effectively than any weapon. The corporal hesitates just for a heartbeat, confused by it. Why would a captured man smile? That hesitation matters. The Allied soldiers' training, months of drills, muscle memory burned in under live fire, slides into place. Close quarters rules. Reaction time. The fragile illusion of control. He does not rush. He waits for the exact instant when certainty turns into complacency. A German soldier steps closer, reaching to retie a loose strap on his own gear. That step shortens the distance. That step changes everything. The Allied soldier moves. It is sudden, violent, precise. In the space between breaths, control of the moment shifts. What looked like a quiet capture becomes something else entirely, something no one on that street expects, least of all the men holding the rifles. A shout breaks out. A weapon discharges. The cigarette drops into the mud, burning out unnoticed. And in less than a second, the rules of the situation are gone. What happens next will unfold faster than anyone can process, and will be over before most of them understand they were ever in danger. The first second. The movement is explosive. One moment, the Allied soldier is pinned to the wall, hands empty, posture loose. The next, his shoulder slams forward, driving into the German soldier closest to him. Not hard. Not wild. Exact. The German never sees it coming. His balance breaks instantly, his weight pitching backward. His rifle swings wide, muzzle useless, finger jerking too late on the trigger. The shot cracks into the air, loud and meaningless. Sound detonates the street. But the Allied soldier is already moving again. He rips the rifle free, not by strength but by leverage, twisting the sling, yanking downward as he steps inside the weapon's arc. The German hits the ground hard, breath knocked from his lungs, mind blank with shock. In that same fluid motion, the Allied soldier turns. Not toward the loudest voice. Not toward the nearest man. Toward the one who still hasn't reacted. The corporal. The corporal's hesitation lasts no more than a fraction of a second, but in close combat, a fraction is an eternity. The Allied soldier raises the captured rifle, but tight to his shoulder, muzzle already aligned. The shot is point blank. The corporal collapses without a sound. Everything erupts. German soldiers shout, scatter, scramble for positions that no longer exist. Rifles snap up. Boots skid on rubble. Orders collide with instinct. The street becomes a tangle of confusion, all happening in a space no wider than a city bus. The Allied soldier does not stop. He pivots left. Fires. One man goes down behind a broken cart. Another stumbles into a door frame, drops his weapon, vanishes from the fight. The sound of rifle fire is deafening now, echoing off stone walls, slamming back into the narrow street. But most of the Germans are firing blindly. They don't know where he is. He uses that. He steps forward, not back, closing distance, staying inside their reactions. Each shot is deliberate. Each movement practiced. He reloads without thinking, fingers moving from habit drilled into him long before this street ever existed. A German tries to bayonet him. The Allied soldier sidesteps, slams the rifle stock into the man's chest, sends him crashing into a pile of masonry. Another lunges from the side, too slow. A shot drops him mid-step. The entire exchange has taken maybe 10 seconds. It feels longer. To the Germans, time stretches into panic. They are trained soldiers, but training depends on structure, on commands, formations, expectations. All of that is gone now. This isn't a firefight at range. This is chaos at arm's length. One of them shouts Zurich. Another screams a warning that comes too late. The Allied soldier moves again, ducking behind a low wall, emerging from the smoke in a place no one expects. His breathing is controlled, almost calm. Heart pounding, yes, but steady. Focused. A German squad tries to regroup near the corner. He doesn't let them. 2 quick shots break the attempt before it forms. A third man flees outright, disappearing down an alley without firing a round. The sound of boots running away is almost surreal amid the gunfire. The street is littered with dropped gear now, helmets, rifles, a field radio lying cracked against stone. Smoke thickens, dust clouds rising with every impact, every step. Someone throws a grenade. It clatters uselessly, bouncing off rubble, rolling into a shallow crater where it detonates with more noise than effect. The Allied soldier is already elsewhere. He advances through the blast, using the momentary confusion it creates. A German soldier tries to swing his rifle around, too late. Another fumbles with his bolt, hands shaking. Shots echo again. Silence follows in brief, stunned pockets. By now, some of the Germans realize the truth. This is not a group attack. This is not a counter-assault. This is one man. One captured man. And they are losing control of the street. A few attempt to surrender, hands half raised, eyes wide. But others, driven by fear and momentum, keep firing. The mix is deadly. The Allied soldier's world narrows to motion and threat. He reacts without hesitation, without anger. His training has stripped emotion from the act. There is only cause and effect. Move. Fire. Move again. Seconds bleed away. 20 seconds. 30. The street that felt relaxed moments ago is now unrecognizable. Bodies lie where soldiers stood laughing before. Weapons rest in the dirt, unfired, forgotten. Smoke hangs thick enough to sting the eyes. Then, abruptly, the gunfire thins. Not because the fight is over. Because the Germans have reached the edge of something they can't process. An encounter that defies logic, structure, and expectation. In less than a minute, certainty has collapsed. And somewhere in the chaos, a surviving German soldier looks down the street, realizes how many men are no longer standing, and understands too late that the next seconds will decide everything. The turning point. The street is quiet, almost unnaturally so. Smoke coils from shattered masonry, curling like restless spirits in the dawn light. Dust settles slowly over dropped rifles, helmets, and the bodies of those who underestimated the man they captured. Only the ragged breathing of the Allied soldier fills the air. Every inhale is deliberate, measured. Every step precise. He doesn't pause to look at the fallen. He doesn't revel. There is no celebration. Only awareness. The entire battlefield has contracted into a single brutal calculus. Distance, angles, timing, reaction. Life and death in fractions of a second. He moves toward the last cluster of Germans trying to form a line, their voices shaky with disbelief and panic. Their training, once second nature, now clashes violently with instinctive fear. One tries to shout a command, but it comes out as a strangled whisper. The Allied soldier hears it, reads the hesitation, and steps forward. Bullets whistle past, erratic, uncoordinated. He ducks behind a ruined wall, letting the moment stretch just enough for the soldiers to miscalculate. Then he emerges again, firing 3 quick, precise rounds. 2 men fall, one grabs a discarded rifle and flees, leaving the street fragmented, their formation broken beyond repair. The corporal, the one who had first hesitated at the smile, lies motionless behind a pile of rubble. He had been the anchor, the man whose command could have restored order. Without him, the rest are untethered, every decision fractured by fear and adrenaline. The Allied soldier doesn't chase. He doesn't need to. Control has shifted. Every movement by the Germans is now reactionary. They're responding to him, not the other way around. He notes the angles, the cover, the exits. His mind calculates the probability of each threat. Every second is a domino, one misstep and it could collapse back into chaos. Then a figure emerges from an alley, a lieutenant distinguished by a faded shoulder strap and a pistol at his side. He sees the carnage, sees his men down or fleeing, and hesitates. Orders seem useless here. This is no longer a controlled engagement. The lieutenant's hesitation mirrors that of the corporal before him. A heartbeat too long, a second that will matter. The Allied soldier sees him. He smiles again, small and almost imperceptible, the same way he did before the chaos erupted. That smile, calculated, disarming, anchors the next series of movements. One quick lunge, a suppressed aim, and the lieutenant drops, incapacitated before he can rally the scattered men. Around him, the remaining German soldiers attempt to regroup near barricades. They form an instinctive perimeter, thinking sheer numbers or positioning will regain the advantage. But the street itself has betrayed them. Debris, rubble, and chaos now define the environment. Every shot fired by the Allied soldier exploits a gap, a shadow, a misstep. Each act is precise, mechanical, deadly. By now, nearly half of the Germans are neutralized, either down, fleeing, or disarmed. Their morale has evaporated, replaced by disbelief and fear. The man they had captured, a seemingly helpless prisoner, has become the apex of control in an instant. 45 seconds in, and the street is silent again, save for the heavy, controlled breathing of the Allied soldier. Dust swirls around him. Helmets, rifles, and field gear are strewn across broken cobblestones like forgotten chess pieces. 21 German soldiers lie dead or incapacitated. Those still standing stare in shock, too stunned to act, too shaken to advance. The war, even briefly, has shifted. One captured soldier, seemingly powerless moments ago, has rewritten the outcome of a small but deadly encounter. And yet, as he surveys the street, another sound cuts through, the faint, distant whistle of artillery. Reinforcements may be on the way. His triumph, monumental though it is, may be temporary. A final decision awaits. A choice that could determine whether this incredible moment ends in survival or tragedy. The calm before the next storm. The street lies in an eerie stillness. Smoke drifts lazily through broken windows. The early morning sun pierces through the haze, glinting off spent shell casings scattered like metallic confetti. The sounds of combat, shouts, gunfire, screams, have vanished, leaving only the faint rustle of disturbed rubble and the soldier's own measured breathing. The Allied soldier crouches behind a low stone wall, scanning the ruined street with a predator's precision. He moves slowly, deliberately, noting the positions of any surviving Germans. Hands are empty, weapons dropped or jammed, and those who can still move keep their distance. Their eyes betray the fear he already sees in himself, a tightrope of adrenaline and instinct, where a single mistake could undo everything. His mind runs faster than the world around him. One thought dominates: situational control. He checks exits, alleys, rubble piles, and doorways. He knows the moment he miscalculates, the street could erupt into chaos again. Even with 21 enemies down, war is never static. Reinforcements could arrive, civilians might intervene, stray gunfire could hit him. Yet for this instant he is untouchable. The smile, remembered by the first German corporal, has become a weapon in its own right, a psychological fracture. Each soldier left alive is frozen not by bullets but by disbelief. How could one captured man dismantle them so quickly? How could seconds transform certainty into collapse? A faint movement catches his eye, a shadow shifting near a destroyed bakery. He reacts instinctively, pivoting on the balls of his feet, rifle raised, fingers ready. The figure freezes. A German soldier hesitates mid-step, realizing too late that his timing is wrong. The soldier's rifle clicks once. The man is forced to surrender, hands raised, eyes wide. Time seems to stretch. Every detail, the echo of boots, the metallic scent of spent cartridges, the fluttering smoke, is amplified. This is not just survival. It's psychological domination. Every step, every measured breath reinforces that he holds the street, that he dictates the terms of engagement. And yet, the reality of war intrudes. A distant artillery shell thuds against a nearby building, sending dust raining down. Windows shatter. A faint scream echoes from a side alley, likely civilians or stragglers caught in the chaos. His senses spike again. Victory is never permanent in these moments. The remaining Germans glance at each other, desperation creeping into their posture. They weigh the impossible, continue to resist or surrender. Their training fails them. The soldier's presence dominates their decisions. One by one they raise hands, hesitant, trembling. He steps forward slowly, keeping his rifle leveled but relaxed, almost nonchalant. His mind calculates the next sequence of moves. He cannot afford haste, yet he cannot linger. Each passing second is a gamble. The street is his now, but not entirely. The war, even in this small corner, continues. Then a sudden, sharp sound, the unmistakable crack of a weapon far down the alley. Someone new is coming. Perhaps German reinforcements. Perhaps something worse. The soldier freezes. Every instinct screams. The calm that had settled over the street is about to shatter. Seconds stretch into an eternity as he prepares for the next move, knowing that the moments to follow will test not only his skill but his nerve. The reinforcements arrive. A distant rumble grows louder, boots pounding over cobblestones, voices shouting in German, the unmistakable clatter of weapons being readied. Reinforcements. He had anticipated this possibility, but anticipation does not ease the tension. Each new step echoes in his ears, each shout sharp against the dusty morning air. The calm is gone. He ducks behind a fallen wall, rifle ready, eyes scanning the street for cover, escape routes and angles of approach. The Allies had trained him for this. Urban engagement, small unit tactics, rapid reaction under pressure. But theory rarely meets the chaos of reality. Every corner, every shadow could hide an enemy. Every misstep could be fatal. The first wave appears. 6 German infantrymen moving cautiously, rifles up, scanning for survivors. Their expressions are rigid, disciplined, but fear flickers in the eyes of 1 or 2. Word of a single soldier wreaking havoc may have traveled faster than the truth. They are alert, yet unsure, their confidence shattered before engagement even begins. He times his movement. Not too soon. Not too late. Precision matters. One calculated step forward, rifle leveled. A burst of gunfire cracks through the morning haze. 2 men fall, collapsing into the rubble, rifles clattering uselessly beside them. The rest freeze. Their training falters in the face of the unexpected. A lone soldier, aggressive, calculated, unrelenting. He pivots, sliding behind a corner, emerges and fires again. Another 2 soldiers go down, caught mid-reaction, unprepared for the intensity of his assault. The remaining 2 hesitate, exchanging panicked glances. He sees the opportunity and doesn't miss it. One tries to flank him from the side, but he pivots, rifle snapping up, and the man drops before reaching cover. 45 seconds have passed since he first smiled. 21 men lie dead or incapacitated. The survivors, the last 2 in this immediate reinforcements wave, freeze. Their morale is fractured. The street is no longer theirs. The order they had expected to follow, the training they relied on, the leadership they trusted, all gone, replaced by a single, unstoppable force. The Allied soldier takes a measured breath, scanning the street. He notes the subtle changes in light, the shift of shadows, the angle of smoke curling from shattered buildings. Every environmental factor is a tool, every moment a chance to gain advantage. Urban combat favors those who see the battlefield as fluid, not fixed. He moves with that understanding. One last man attempts a desperate retreat, diving for a collapsed wall. But the soldier anticipates the motion, firing a single, precise round. Silence follows. Not victory. Not celebration. Only control. But war never waits. From the end of the street, a rumble grows louder, heavier footsteps, more organized, disciplined, and coming fast. These are not scattered stragglers or isolated units. This is a company-level reinforcement, moving with purpose. The man who smiled at capture is about to be tested again. Every nerve sharpens. Every muscle tenses. The fight is far from over, and the next seconds will demand everything he has learned, everything he has survived, and everything he can improvise under fire. The street is his, for now. But how long can a single soldier hold against an organized wave? The siege of seconds. The rumble of boots grows louder, reverberating off broken brick and shattered stone. Shouts, clipped and disciplined, echo down the narrow street. A fresh wave of German soldiers is moving like a tide, methodical, trained, and armed with a confidence that only numbers can give. They believe control can be restored. They are about to discover that numbers alone cannot predict chaos. The Allied soldier crouches behind the remains of a half-collapsed wall, rifle leveled, eyes scanning every alley, every doorway. Each second stretches into eternity. He watches the formation, noting gaps, shadows, and moments of hesitation. One misstep by him, one moment of hesitation, and the tide could crush him. But hesitation has no place here. Only motion, calculation, and the instinct drilled into him under endless hours of fire. The first wave reaches the street corner. They pause, scanning. They are professional, but fear flickers in the eyes of a few. They've heard the rumors, perhaps glimpsed the aftermath, perhaps sensed it instinctively. They are disciplined yet unnerved. The soldier sees it, exploits it. He moves. Fast, precise. He fires 1, 2, 3 shots, each aimed at disrupting their formation. The first man drops, clutching his rifle. The second trips over rubble, caught off guard, and the third freezes mid-step, eyes wide as he realizes the street is no longer under his control. Panic ripples through the line. Discipline crumbles. The soldier pivots, vaulting over debris, sliding behind cover, emerging to fire again. Another 2 men go down. Each movement is a carefully measured sequence, like a dancer moving through the chaos of war, where each step determines life or death. The remaining soldiers hesitate, shouting orders that come too late, too fractured to matter. They try to coordinate, but the street itself has turned against them. Rubble, smoke, dust, and bodies create a terrain of confusion. Each shot fired by the soldier exploits this perfectly. A lieutenant appears, attempting to rally his men. His voice cuts through the smoke. Vorwärts. Forward. But it is meaningless. Training cannot compensate for shock, and courage alone is fragile. He takes aim, but the soldier has already anticipated the line of movement, the gap in cover, the angle of approach. One shot ends the rally before it begins. 45 seconds since the first smile, and 21 men have fallen or surrendered. The battlefield is a fractured, silent street, broken by the precision of a single, extraordinary soldier. Smoke drifts from the ruins, carrying dust into his eyes, yet he moves with perfect clarity, every decision instinctual, every calculation exact. Then, suddenly, a heavy explosion rocks the street, not from his actions but from artillery pounding the nearby intersection. Bricks shatter, dust fills his lungs, and the tenuous calm is obliterated. Reinforcements are closing in faster than anticipated. The soldier's mind races. How long can he hold? How long before the wave overwhelms even his incredible skill? The street, once his domain, now feels alive with threat. Every shadow could conceal another soldier. Every doorway could hide a deadly rifle. Every heartbeat echoes the uncertainty of survival. He breathes, centers himself, and prepares for the next assault. The seconds are endless. The street is no longer just a battlefield, it is a stage, and he is the lone actor defying logic, control, and expectation. The final confrontation. The air vibrates with the heavy rhythm of boots and shouted orders. Dust and smoke swirl in the morning light, turning the ruined street into a shifting maze of shadows and sound. The Allied soldier tightens his grip on the rifle, muscles coiled, senses screaming. Every step, every breath, every movement counts now. He has no margin for error. The remaining Germans are closing fast, moving in a tight, coordinated formation. They have learned nothing from what they have witnessed. They think training alone will restore control. Their lieutenant barks precise commands, but panic has already seeped into their ranks. Hesitation lingers in the gaps between their steps, and the soldier exploits it. He pivots around a pile of rubble, firing 3 quick, disciplined shots. One man falls mid-stride, another dives for cover too late. The street has become a trap, a controlled chaos orchestrated by one individual. He moves like water, sliding between cover, never stationary, always unpredictable. Smoke stings his eyes, grit scratches his throat, but he does not falter. His mind works faster than the world around him, calculating angles, timing, and distances. Every shot, every movement, every decision is instinctual, honed over years of training and the raw necessity of survival. A group of 3 German soldiers attempts to flank him from the side. The soldier anticipates it, shifting his position with the precision of a seasoned marksman. 2 go down before they can react. The third freezes, realizing too late that he is trapped between the wall and the rifle barrel. Panic overwhelms him and he surrenders, hands trembling. The lieutenant, the last figure of organized command, hesitates. The soldier sees the opportunity. One decisive movement, one well-aimed shot, and the final obstacle falls. The lieutenant drops, leaving no structured resistance behind. Silence hangs over the street like a fragile, tentative promise. 45 seconds have passed since the initial smile. 21 German soldiers lie dead, incapacitated, or surrendered. The Allied soldier surveys the street, eyes sharp, heart racing, mind alert. The magnitude of what just occurred hits him, not in adrenaline but in clarity. One captured soldier, once at the mercy of his captors, has turned the tables with nothing but skill, discipline, and presence of mind. The ruins around him are quiet now. Smoke drifts lazily. Dust settles over helmets and rifles. The shattered cobblestones carry the echo of gunfire and the weight of impossibility. He exhales, a controlled breath, yet he knows the danger has not passed. Reinforcements, artillery, or the unexpected could strike at any moment. Victory is temporary. Survival is a series of calculated seconds. And yet, in this instant he stands alone, undefeated, a man who smiled at capture and changed everything in under a minute. Aftermath and reflection. The morning sun climbs higher, burning through smoke that lingers over the ruined street. Silence dominates, broken only by distant artillery and the faint shuffle of feet on rubble. The Allied soldier lowers his rifle, surveying the scene. 21 German soldiers lie dead or incapacitated. Others cower or surrender. For a fleeting moment, he is untouchable, a solitary force amid devastation. He moves carefully, checking the perimeter. His breathing is steady now, but his body hums with residual adrenaline. The street that moments ago held certainty for the enemy has been transformed into a testament to split-second decision-making, courage, and training under fire. Every broken wall, every scattered helmet, every overturned rifle tells a story of what just transpired. Civilians emerge slowly from the edges of the ruined village, eyes wide, mouths agape. They had witnessed fragments of the chaos, shouts, smoke, flashes of gunfire, but could not comprehend how a single man had upended an entire unit. Their curiosity and fear mingle as they keep their distance. War, in its unpredictability, has left them observers to something extraordinary. The soldier does not smile again, not now. He moves with discipline, checking for any remaining threats. Even in victory, war is unforgiving. A wrong step, a miscalculation, or an unseen gun could undo everything. Survival depends not on heroism but vigilance, and he has learned that in every second of this encounter. Nearby, the surviving Germans are gathered, unarmed, confused, and trembling. Their morale is broken. The street that was once theirs is no longer theirs to command. The Allied soldier watches them silently, understanding that in moments like this, psychological dominance is as decisive as firepower. He has rewritten the battlefield, not with luck, but with precision and resolve. As he walks past the rubble, he recalls the first smile, the one that ignited chaos, exploited hesitation, and shifted control in under a minute. That smile was a calculation, a quiet assertion of agency in a moment when all odds seemed stacked against him. It was the spark that transformed capture into mastery, helplessness into command. Reinforcements arrive hours later, but the battle is effectively over. Stories will spread among soldiers and villagers alike, tales of the captured man who turned his chains into leverage, who made 45 seconds feel like eternity, who left an indelible mark on that small corner of the war. Military historians will study it. Strategists will analyze it. But to those present, it is a moment frozen in disbelief and awe. He steps forward, finally moving away from the chaos. Each step is deliberate, measured, but lighter than before. For now the street is quiet. For now he has survived. And for now the improbable has become history. This is not a Hollywood story. It is a reminder that in war, seconds define lives, training defines survival, and the will to act decisively can change everything. A captured soldier smiled, and in less than a minute 21 men were gone, and the rules of engagement were rewritten forever.